Hey everyone, welcome back. We are live. Trish is canning right now. She's got 6 more minutes left on the canner, so she's in the kitchen right now. Hi Larry.
Hello.
Hey April and Tara. Lead by example. How is everyone? I hope everyone had a wonderful day. Today was a very lackadaisical day for me. I just cleaned my house and it's been actually raining for the past 3 days here. So I was very, very excited because it hasn't rained here for 3 months straight. So my grass was actually like walking on cornflakes.
Oh
It was
my.
brown and crunchy. Yeah.
It's
Hey,
been raining
Awakening
here.
Warrior.
It's
Huh?
been raining. It's been raining here consecutively. I don't know that it stopped much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been raining quite a bit.
Hey, Chrissy, Betsy, Lady Casca. Hi. Hi, Chris. JK, how is everyone? Firefighters in the house. Are you really a firefighter? Because my dad retired as the chief of the fire department in Atlantic City. Hi. So, Wendy, how are you? Spartacus. I am Spartacus. Green-eyed chick, how are you, baby? Penelope's in the house. Hi. Come here. Come here, Penelope. Come in. Look. No, she just pulled the camera down. What are you doing? Hang on, guys. Oh, goodness gracious me. Marcy. Oh, you're disabled firefighter. Okay, honey.
So, sorry, but I can't stop the canner.
No, don't worry about that. That's fine. Penelope, you've got the cord, baby. Stop it. Stop. Thank you. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Right?
Cyan! Yes, it is the Penelope show. Dawn Marie. Hi, Diane. Has everybody got their coffee? Ay. How was everyone's week? Everybody all right? Hi, Carol. You and your grandson are canning chicken? She's canning chicken.
Yeah.
Cynthia. Hi, Kemp. Anne Marie, how are you?
I did a load of ghee yesterday. So that came out really nice. I'm up to 7.5 cases of ghee now.
Oh my God, you're going to have to teach me how to do that because I hear so much about it and I don't know how to do it.
Oh, awesome. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Penelope. Hey, Sheila. Oh, Sheila, let me do money. Hey, Jackie. Penelope, would you stop? You gotta sit still. Arissa, how are you? Golden Whisper, how are you? Hi, Ruth. All right. Well, you can't have this. No. I gotta move the wire. Would you? Oh, to be a dog mom. Oh.
Penelope?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
Hello, Penelope. Hello. I feel like I know her and I've never met her. Penelope.
Sheila, hello.
She's got to be in on it.
Oh, stop with the lick. Marcy, Angel Pie. Yo, Tom. How is it? Lisa, how are you? Tiara. Will you quit, please? Yeah, I know she loves me, but you know what it is? It is what it is. I need space. Canadian cabin girl, where you been?
All right. So this is my gi.
Okay.
And I do them in pint size.
Okay.
Whoops. That's my timer. Yay. So yeah, I do them in pint size with wide lids.
Hi, Six Gun.
All right. Timer is off.
Hey,
Is off.
Sheriff.
And I'm done.
No, Carol, she's a blackmouth cur.
All right. Talk and walk.
Oh, Tom, sweetie, thank you. Hey, Ma, how are you?
Let's see. All right. Now, if I can do this right, I'm gonna plug you in.
You're a hot mess today. Well,
I am.
I don't want the kisses right now.
That's okay. I got a lot done.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, you feel so much accomplished, really, when you're canning. I know I sure do. Even when I'm just dehydrating, I feel like I'm accomplishing a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm trying to stay ahead of the game. And the more they pull these, the more we hear these stories about shortages or, I don't know, a meat plant shutting down or one thing or
I know.
another. You know, and like I said, I in a way, I want to cut back some of my prepping because honestly, it's about storage. I've well exceeded what I ever thought I would do storage wise. Now I'm going, okay, how do I still get what we need, but be able to store it? You know, where do I put it? What do I do? So I was gonna cut back, and then we had the stories about the meat plant shutting down.
Yeah.
And I really haven't kept up with it. I don't know if it's still down as of today or not. But it just kind of relit my fire with regard to meats and things like that to say, no, it's not time to stop yet. You know, as long as I still have room on a shelf, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. Does anybody know if if it's still going on with the hack at the meat processing plant? I don't think so, but
you know, I haven't heard that it's back up. So
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Today.
Yeah. So, you know, as I was telling you earlier, today I did pork, I did hamburger, I'm doing chicken tomorrow. I'm doing ground chicken, probably either late tomorrow or on Sunday. I'm just not stopping.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
What?
It's back up. The meat processing plant that's back up. Yeah, Dawn Marie just said it, and Diane, she just said it too. All right. So good. Thank you.
When did it come back up? What day?
I don't know. They didn't say. Diana, seriously? Now the hospitals near the villages in Florida have been cyber attacked.
Well, we know it's going to go from one thing to another to another. That's not going to stop. It's just where is it going to hit next? It's amazing. Don't you find it amazing that it hasn't hit the Federal Reserve with the cyber attack, right? Come on. It hasn't hit them. Why not? I find that amazing. No, of course not. You're going to hit what the people actually need, their actual food or a hospital, but you're not going to hit the Federal Reserve.
Yeah. The Federal Reserve six gun. That's what she's talking about, baby.
I mean, I'm not suggesting that anyone do that, but hey, if you were going to go for money, wouldn't you go there?
Right.
I mean,
Karen, what train station?
It's a private institution, so on all these others.
Ay.
So, yeah, it's no great shock, I think.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheila, you know what? You're right. You just said it last week, and she did. That it's going to be something new all the time.
And is that to deflect away from what's really going on? That's one question, one theory. It could be. But then wouldn't it be probably the same group that's doing it or the same group that's funding it being done? Because it would be well coordinated, wouldn't it? My opinion. I could be wrong. I doubt it. But
right.
Hey, it's my opinion.
A train station in New York was just hacked too. And Ma Berry, coincidence. China invented the world's fastest quantum computer last year. Penelope, will you sit down, please? Look what happened. Look what happened. All right, you got to sit down. All right. Ay. Not on to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so what do you want to do first?
It's like having toddlers running around.
Right.
Haven't had that in a long time. Especially being as though the kids are in their 20s. Oh. Okay. Sheila, the damn aliens, listen. Right? Let's not go there with those shiny objects. We don't need no UFOs.
Heaven forbid we should go there.
Yo, Kemp, yeah, the cat. It's like having the kid listen.
Hey.
Oh, look, she's shedding. I'm covered. Lay down.
Yeah, it's that time of year. Time of year.
I know it.
Yeah. Marcy, you think the government's paying someone to do it? I think the high level government people might be paying someone to do it. Yeah. I mean, they paid them to riot, didn't they? Right? Why not?
Kemp, are you in the grocery store right now watching
this? That's funny.
You're walking around.
Yeah, right? Buy stuff you can. Buy stuff you can while you're there. Buy stuff you can. I walked into Walmart the other day, and there's a sign on the door, and there's a sign as you're walking in the door that said, you're no longer required to wear masks if you've been vaccinated. All others must wear them. So I'm walking in, and I'm a non-vaxxer. I'm not going to do it, right? So I walk in. I don't have it on. I don't care. I walk in, and I'm looking at someone that doesn't have it on, another one that doesn't have it on, another one, then somebody who does, then somebody who does, and somebody who isn't. And I'm walking around the store, and I'm looking at all these people that may potentially or may not have been vaccinated, because they could be like me, just saying the hell with you and not wear it anyway. And so I get up to the register, and this older lady, very pleasant, but this older lady's in front of me, and she said, I want to make sure everybody here has been vaccinated because I only want to be around people that have been vaccinated. And we're in line. I looked at her and I said, well, it's not like you have a choice. You're in line, right? I wasn't going to answer her as to whether or not I am. She can assume I am because I don't have the mask on. But I don't have to tell you if I am or not. And this is somebody in line, not the lady at the register, not management, none of that. And so we went through it. And the lady, as I get up to the register, the lady said to me, have you been? And I said, well, have you? And she didn't want to answer the question either. I'm not going to answer a question like that for you or anybody else, you know? But it's amazing how they have the older people really so massively entrenched to the fact that you have to be. You have to be. You have to be. Like, wow, I can't believe you're all buying this.
I know.
Really? Oh, so I haven't attempted anything like restaurants or anything like that, but I hear many of them are saying if you're not vaccinated, you can't get in the door. But what? I got to show my papers? What's this, 100 years ago? Same thing? Show your papers? No, not happening. So, yeah, until you, like she said here, that some people, Awakening Warrior, were excited to see people that weren't wearing masks, and then you realize that they're the ones that are vaccinated. It's so scary to know what you're watching. You're seeing people that have bought into that lie. You know?
Yeah.
Canadian cabin girl, you're still on lockdown? What? I didn't know they were.
Yeah.
I've been out of it. I've been canning. I haven't looked at a thing. I didn't know that they were on lockdown.
Yeah.
How long? How long now? Yeah, that's the first I heard about it anyway.
I think since the beginning, since the
No
lockdowns
way.
first started.
No way. No. No way. Not possible.
I don't know. I'm guessing. That was just a guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not possible. Until June's, oh, since March 8th. Wow. Wow. Even so, wow. Huh. Well, as they've said, now they're saying that they've reached about 75% of the population with vaccination. That's what they say. I don't know if that number is actually true, but that's what they say. Well, I don't either. I don't either. I think maybe they're slightly overstating it, maybe 55. I don't know how they could be at 75. But what I'm hearing on this end is that the remaining 25 will be forced to get it by way of the other 75 reporting the 25 because they'll be paid to do it. That's what I've been told. So we'll see. Yeah, that's true. That number is as about reliable enough as their other COVID numbers were. You're probably right. I think 75 is a high estimation because I haven't met one person willing to take it yet. I know many have, but they're not people that I come in contact with on a regular basis. So
It was only for
I'm just amazed at how many actually have done it, really. So Marilyn says 50%, 50%. Maybe. All right, what do you want to start with? You want to start with questions? What do you want to do?
Sure,
Autumn.
if you want to.
All right.
I was answering a question from somebody.
That's fine. I'll keep the chat open so that I can see, hopefully, what I need to. All right. All right. As far as last week and throughout the reset videos, there have been some questions that we have not yet had a chance to answer. I've written them down. I have not written my answer with the exception of one or two, so I'm just going to read them and then give you the answer that I feel is appropriate for it. Jam Price asked, how much gold or silver do we need to get through this process? Is it going to be worse than the Great Depression of 1929 to 1933? And what is the end game of this fiasco? All very good questions. And we've all been asking that same thing all the way along. The end game, start with that. I always like to go to the back of the book and find out what the ending is first and see if it's worth reading. So I'll answer the end game first. The end game is control. That's what the end game is. That's what they want. They want control, period. Power and money equal control. How much gold and silver do we need to get through this process? That is going to vary based on what you need personally to get by. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody has prepped differently. Some haven't prepped at all. And most people can't afford the gold, so most people are just doing the silver. How much do you need? I would say secure your preps first. And I've said this before, make sure you have 3 years worth of food preps and water first. I think it's going to go a lot longer than 3 years. But have 3 years first. And then start looking at silver and gold. So if you have that, go with silver first. It's about to shoot up. We'll get into that. But go with silver first. And then look at gold. How much do you need? It depends on your lifestyle and what you think you need. Gold is going to be to maintain wealth. So basically, if you need to pay your mortgage taxes in the future, you want some gold because that's what you would use it for. You want to keep your house, have some gold. Silver, you want to be able to use that as a hedge for inflation and be able to barter with it. I think silver will go up much higher than gold on a level that has not been seen yet, from like $40 to $300 versus a $2,000 gold price to $10,000. Well, that's only 5 times when it goes up. It's still going to go up high, but that's only 5 times. So if it goes from 40 up to 300, it's still going to go up higher, right? Is it going to be worse than the Great Depression? I think it will be worse for us for a number of reasons. We are so trained to be reliant on technology and all the different things that we have had the luxury of having, all the different kinds of meats, all the different kinds of foods. Well, if you can't afford those, then for you, it's going to be much more difficult, right? It wasn't so much an issue of necessarily having food back in the Great Depression. It was, can they afford it? There was some food around, but they just couldn't get it. I mean, at a certain point when hyperinflation happened, people could buy food in the morning, but by noon, if they wanted to go back and buy more, it went up 5 and 6 times what it was in the morning. So people of our generation now have never seen it. We've only heard about it. But the fact that you've heard about it now in Venezuela really should be opening your eyes. Take the history lesson that we most recently have from Venezuela and learn from that, because it is coming our way. It is. It's sad. I don't want to say it, but it's true. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you and say that it's not coming, because I'd rather prepare you for it. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking about it.
Now, what are some of the warning signs, just in case a lot of people don't know? What are some of the warning signs that people should have already seen or should be looking for so they can say, uh-oh?
Yeah. Okay. We can start with bank failures. Many have happened. We can start with the financial crisis of 2008. That happened, right? That wasn't just housing. That was a major financial collapse. That actually collapsed the whole system. And since then, they've just been propping it up. That's all they've been doing. They're propping it up. If they stop propping it up, it's going to deflate. And that happened in 2008. It didn't just happen now or in a year from now or 6 months from now. It already happened. So what are the warning signs? The warning signs are for the last 10, 15 years. And people should have taken that warning. But the Fed's been lying to them the whole time and saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. If people want to turn around and say, well, inflation hasn't really happened, but they've still got it at 0%, then try believing the fact, they say, that bread in 1929 is the same cost as it is now. Is it? Right? So if you're going to say there hasn't been any inflation, then you have to say all the prices are the same as in 1929. Everything has gone up. You can't say there hasn't been inflation. So as far as what they may charge you for a bank loan might be low right now, but that does not mean there isn't inflation. When they take their finger off that button, and some say that's going to happen at the end of the month. Some say that. If they take their finger off of that button, that no longer suppresses gold and silver, but will collapse the banks. The banks go down to nothing. Gold and silver go sky high. Then people will realize that the rest of us haven't been wrong. I'm not saying it's going to happen at the end of the month, but some people think it will. Oh. We'll talk about that. But do I think it's going to be worse than the Great Depression? Yes, I do, because of what we are used to. We're used to a fairly high stock market. We're used to being able to go to the store and get whatever it is we need. It's not been an issue. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Just getting the gasoline to put in your vehicle is going to be a problem. So I hope I answered that question. What is the end game? It's called control. So how much gold and silver do you need? So I guess to reiterate the answer to that question, it depends on your lifestyle. I would say you want at least 2 or 3 years worth of silver, but again, that depends on your lifestyle, and you're the only one that can determine that.
Right. So live below your means and save what you can.
Ration what you have. Ration. I liked what you had on for a video a little while ago about food preps and rationing things and how to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, can look at that menu and come up with your own menus, but ration it. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that was sent to me by a subscriber, and I found it to be extremely brilliant. Right. The way that she broke everything down, I was blown away, you know.
Right.
And like I had said, you know, if a recipe, because 9 times out of 10, we go by what a recipe says, okay? Say you want to make meatballs. Okay, let's just take that for an example. Say you want to make meatballs, and it says, okay, well, you need a pound of ground beef, okay? And because when I make meatballs, okay, a real Italian meatballs, you take a pound of ground beef and you take a pound of ground up pork or sausage, okay? You mix that all together. You take an egg, you take some breadcrumbs, you take whatever spices that you like, okay? But instead of doing a pound of this and a pound of that, do 3/4. Then take that other quarter, put that away. There's no reason that you need a pound of this and a pound of that, a pound of this and a pound of that. No, because 9 times out of 10, you're either going to have leftovers or it's going to get thrown out. Take chicken breast, for example. Take that chicken breast after it's thawed out and slice it in half like that. Because 9 times out of 10, those chicken breasts, they're about that thick. Well, you can make 2 chicken breasts out of that one.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to ration. It's easy.
Do, but there are other ways to do it too. And I'm not knocking that. You can certainly do that, yes. Mm-hmm. But really, divide the food. I mean, when it comes to the end of the day, if you're still doing the chicken breast or the meatballs the same way, that doesn't mean you have to eat it all in one meal. Yeah, you might have leftovers, but I can guarantee you that at the end of the day, when this hits and hyperinflation happens and people have less that they can afford to buy, you won't be throwing out your leftovers.
No, but I'm just saying, in order to avoid a lot of things, because if you're anything like Sean, he doesn't eat leftovers. He won't eat them. So I had to teach myself how to cook with no leftovers, because anyone who knows an Italian, when grandma used to make the sauce, she made enough sauce to last for a week. But I had to marry somebody who doesn't like to eat leftovers. God help.
I don't know how to make sauce unless I'm making it in my 12-quart crock pot. So I understand that. It's not that I can't. It's just, that's just not normal for me. I make large quantities and I know how to freeze it and do it up so that it's done for, meals.
Right.
But I don't like to cook every night. I can't stand the idea of that. So just the idea that I can make something that would suffice for 2 meals throughout the week. If I'm doing sauce, I'll do some for maybe a lasagna and some for something different. But I don't have any problem with leftovers. And like I said, I think when people get through this, or I should say when the banking system gets done doing what they're going to do to everybody else, you'll adjust to leftovers. You won't have a choice, really. Okay, you can learn how to cook less but cook more frequently. That's fine.
Oh, I cook every day. Every day.
Yeah, I'm not into that. It's too much. Especially given what I do, okay? I'm doing canning all day long, or I'm at the pantry all day, so it gets to be a little much. Okay. Next question. Truth Angel asked, even though we've stored extra food or extra items, how much can we really give away? It's an individual choice. Only you know what you have. Only you know what you want to do. But they said, how far do we go with helping other people? And what I would say to you is, remember what happens on a plane when the oxygen level goes down. The masks come down and you put it on yourself first. And then you can help other people. Take care of yourself and your family and those that you love and treasure first. And then you can look at helping other people. Because if you do that, that means that someone else doesn't have to take care of those people, right? Make sure you're covered. Make sure the people that are close to you are covered. Maybe that your family may have taken care of it on their own. They may not have, but you've put some preps away, maybe with their name on it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But do that first and then help other people outside of that second. So if you can do all of that and you have enough for yourself to really get through, then it's up to you as far as how many other people you want to help.
Right.
You know, I do it differently because I have access to the food. So it's different for me. I'm not paying for any of it. I'm just having to go get it.
Right.
You know, but it's an individual choice. You have to decide that.
Right.
But take care of yourself and your family first. Anne asked, how will other metals fare in value, such as nimbe and tin? So it's aluminum or tin. How will they fare in value? I don't see those going up much. Perhaps they will, but they're certainly not a tradable, or I should say a financial commodity like gold or silver. Yes, they have value, but nowhere near. Much less than copper. I would not be stocking that unless you have an awful lot already that's maybe been set aside. Then I'd say, okay, in the metals market, yeah, there's recyclable aluminum and tin, but I don't know that you're going to get much for it.
Right.
I really don't. I could be wrong. Rebecca asked, how do you go about buying precious metals if you have a bankruptcy looming soon?
Ouch.
Uh-huh. Yeah. There's only one thing I can say to that. Find a reputable pawn shop and buy it with cash. The only thing I know of. Because if you buy it online, your name's attached to it somewhere, some way, somehow, and a credit card or a debit card. When you go through a bankruptcy proceeding, those things are typically scanned for valuable items that you may have recently purchased. So find a place where you can go to that is reputable and use cash. Leona asked, have I recently seen the video from the Ice Age farmer called The Hostile Takeover of Food Production? Yes, I have. Yeah. And yeah, we can see why a lot of these things are happening and that it's all been a plan. Correct. I love the Ice Age farmer. He's done a wonderful job. And if anybody hasn't seen that video, it's called The Hostile Takeover of Food Production. Check it out. He's not wrong. TL, I think it's weekly, TLWKY asked if we did not take the jab, or we will not sign with our thumb, so we're not able to buy or sell potentially in the future, then how will we be able to pay for things and stock up on things? Well, that's why you're stocking up now, right? I hope people are stocking up. But how will you pay for things like property taxes? That's what he's asking about. Well, as I mentioned earlier, and I've said all along, that's what the gold is for. That will allow you to be able to take care of that as time goes on. As that gold price goes up, you can use it for that. I mean, ideally, you'd be using it to pay down your house, and you'll have a job where you can pay for your property taxes. But if you don't have an income and you have no other way to be able to pay for that, then you have to have something to offset it. And that would be gold. Yes, the bank will take the gold. They absolutely will. They're buying it up like crazy. So people now are saying, well, you know, if I go to the bank now, they're not going to take my gold. No, because we're still in dollars. They want you to stay in dollars. They don't want you to be in gold because they're in gold. They want to get as much as they can. They're not going to encourage you to buy gold, but I sure would, and many others would. They will go a lot higher. And even once they take them from you for payment of your property taxes, they know that those metals are going to go a lot higher. So of course they'll take it. Where in the case of dollars, they're going to devalue. So they won't want the cash. Okay. Lead by Example asked, how will Basel III affect physical silver and gold holders at the end of June 28th this year? That's a good question. That's what I was just talking about. Many people are saying Basel III. And if you guys don't know what Basel III is, look it up. But basically, it's an internationally agreed measure that was developed by the Basel Committee on banking supervision in response to the crash of 2008. So, 2008 happened. They had a lot of maybe not answering to do because they never really did any answering, but they put other things in place. They had to. So how is it going to affect when they say it will go into place on June 28th of this year, the end of this month? They're also asking, can this cause the bank, can this cause a bank run? A bank run scares the living daylights out of me. And given the fact that I was in the bank for so many years, it should scare everybody else. Honestly, it should. But I just don't think people are aware of what an actual bank run is. Why? Because it's not happened in your lifetime. It hasn't happened in mine. None of us have ever seen the bank shut their doors and say, sorry, you can't have your money. But I have gone to the bank to take money out before, and they have denied me taking money out. They'll let you take $500, maybe even 1,000. But when I write myself a check for 20 grand, they say you'll have to make an appointment. So how will it affect it? Let's say that it happens. Let's say that it's going to. Okay, right now it's scheduled. Okay, it is scheduled for the end of the month. That's correct. So let's say the worst case scenario that it happens. The dollar, and if you didn't see that, down, way down, very far down. I'm not saying zero, although some people do say that. It's going to go down. Will that cause a bank run? Hell yes, if that happens. What will happen to silver and gold? Well, what happens to silver and gold, primarily gold, when the fiat currency fails? It goes up, right? And that's why they're suppressing it right now. They don't want you to know how badly the fiat currency is failing. They don't want you to know. They'll do anything they can to keep other people from knowing and to keep us looking like lunatics and that we're just saying this and we're making it up. And no, we're not. We're not making it up at all. So what will happen is the price of silver, especially, will go up. Gold will go up, yes. Do I think it will go up as fast? No. I think silver will go up faster for a couple of reasons. One, there's a big silver squeeze going on, has been going on for a long time now. So I think that will contribute to that. And the price is lower in buying silver than it is gold. So, yeah, it'll drive the price up. Basel III is an extreme catalyst for gold and silver to be driven up, period. All of it becomes technically effective as of the beginning of 2023. That's when it's technically effective, but it's scheduled for the end of this month. Do I think it'll be postponed? Yes, it's been postponed multiple times now. I don't think they're ready. I really don't. I don't think they're ready to take their finger off that button. But could they? Yeah. Yeah. We may have less than a month. So I don't know. You know, the Fed says that their digital dollar is for the beginning of 2023, or they say in the year of 2023. So I find it amazing that they're talking also about Basel III now, and whether or not it happens in June or if it happens at the beginning of 2023, all of that, and the Fed saying the digital dollar for 2023, it's all kind of the same time frame, right? In my opinion, the Fed already has their digital currency set up because they're talking about it, right? They've been talking about it for a while. And from what I know about them, they don't talk about something unless they've already got it fully planned and it's already set to go. It's already there. They're just trying to get you used to it. They're trying to ease you in with the language of it all, just like they did with anything else. Just like they're doing with the UBI, they eased you into the whole idea. You know, they don't want a bank run. You know, they don't. That would just be flat out stupid. Do I think it can happen? Yep. Do I think it'll happen June 28th? I don't know. To me, it could happen on Tuesday. I don't know when it'll happen. So I hope I answered that one. Leona asked, if you have an RFI and get so much a month, will you still be able to get it, or will it be taken just like your savings? So she means if you have a retirement income fund, will it be taken like your savings funds will be if and when they pull that trigger and the dollar goes down to zero or close to zero, as some people would say? Yes, it would go down to the same value that the dollar is, because it's all based on the US currency. So a retirement income fund is only what it is based on what the US dollar is worth. So yes, that would become the same as what a potential, the same thing that happened to whatever checking and savings that you have will happen to an RFI as well. The nominal value will basically go down to what the dollar is. Okay. Donna asked an unusual question. What would I be gathering if I worked at a county landfill? That's an unusual question. I came up with 3 answers for you. 1, good composted soil for a garden. It's got to be good though, because a lot of the stuff has chemicals in it there. So you really would want to check it. But I'd get as much composted soil as I could to be able to do a really good garden if you don't already have it, and start growing your own food. Another thing, a deep freezer with a door on the top. Whether it works or whether it doesn't does not matter. Actually, if it's free and it's not working, grab it. Why? You can dig a hole, put it in it, and use it as a small root cellar. You know, just make sure it's fully intact. It doesn't matter if it works or not. Just dig a hole, put it in it, and now you've got the lid, right? Put some plywood over the top of it, put a couple rocks on it, you got a root cellar. And my third answer is that I would be hunting around because I love to recycle things. So I don't know what I'd get for the third one, but I'd be looking. You just gotta think outside the box, and how could you in your situation utilize something that is there, repurpose it. I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of ways. If you believe an EMP is going to happen, recycle some bicycles, because I can guarantee you that if an EMP comes and people can't get to work because their cars don't work anymore, bicycles would be the way to go. All right. I forget who asked this question. I did not write down the name. But it was something that came up in our chat a couple weeks back. And the question or statement was, what happened in Cyprus will happen here. I think you all remember that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that leads us into our topic tonight. Cyprus and Venezuela. I'm sure you're all going to have your opinions on it, and I do have the chat open, so if you have any questions on it, I'll answer them while we're doing it. But okay, so everybody wanted to know what Cyprus was, right? We now know, I assume, right? You've looked it up, hopefully you have. But basically, it's just a small republic outside of Greece, in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. It's small. It's almost insignificant in a way, but not really. All of Greece collapsed as far as their money goes. Well, Cyprus did as well. But what happened in Cyprus really was a military coup. That's what it's most well known for. And so the question is, do I think it could happen here? Because that was the question. What happened in Cyprus will happen here. Yeah, I think it could. Some say it already has happened, but without the military. That some people perhaps lied and got in and took over, right? So could a military coup happen here? That's the question. Some say not only will it happen here, but it'll happen here this summer. I don't know. I want to think maybe, perhaps, yes. I want to think that. Because if we continue down the trajectory that we are on, we're done for. It's that simple. We're done. I don't want to say that, but it's the truth. If we keep going this way, there's no going back. So if the military doesn't take over, if they don't, it is probably one of the worst case scenarios for us to have it not happen. So how can that happen? Well, it's not up to me, right? I hope and pray that a major change happens. But it's not up to me. So, military coup. Yeah, it could happen. Venezuela. We all know what happened with their bolivars, their note, right? It takes a wheelbarrow's worth of bolivars just to buy food. And I'm not talking food for a week or a month, and certainly not a year. I'm talking to basically sustain life. for a few days. Can that happen here? Yeah. If what they say could happen for June 28th, although I am really sketchy on that date. I don't like to put a date to anything. The date is being mentioned because that's on their schedule. The Fed has that as a schedule. If we keep going the way we are, and this happens at the end of the month or anytime in the near future, our dollar goes down to zippo. How are you going to buy food? How are you going to do it? That's a question that I have. How are you going to do it? If you don't already have it, and that's why we've been here, talking to people about prepping and hoping that you will do it. I know it's expensive. I get it. But what are you going to buy? A big screen TV? A new car? What good are those items? What good are those items going to do you? Because you're going to have to use them for barter later. And I'll be honest with you, you're not going to get much for them. And if you've got kids, how are you going to feed them? You know, the reason why I'm doing the extra food really is because I can't stand the idea of watching other people go hungry either. I mean, I don't eat much as it is, but really, how do you keep food knowing that there's other people nearby that are starving? It's one thing to say, well, there's starving kids in China. You know, we all grew up with that. Yeah. I grew up with my parents threatening, well, you're going to eat because there's starving kids in China. But how do how do you know perhaps that your neighbors can't afford food and yet, you've got it. So how do you deal with that emotionally? People get a big shock coming to them. Other family members may not have it. No, I care too much about other people to not be able to give them something. And I'm sure you guys do too. We're all here for a reason. We all have that heart in a way. So what are you going to do when people come knocking on your door? That's why you put it away now. I don't care if it's extra bags of rice, beans, and chicken noodle soup. I don't care what it is. Make sure that you have something to help someone else out. Otherwise, you are going to feel massively miserable. You may be full, but you'll be miserable.
Yeah. I mean, like me personally, like me and my neighbor, right? We help each other out in our gardens.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's how we help each other out. It doesn't necessarily have to be like food wise.
Right.
Like
anything. Right.
We give each other, edible plants. He doesn't, really know how to like germination with seeds and stuff like that. So I'll help him with germination with seeds. I'll plant them. I give them to him, and that type of thing. I'm teaching him how to garden.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
That's one way of helping your neighbor.
Sure. Right.
He'll literally come to my house and say, I bought seeds, and he'll give them to me. Can you help? Sure.
Right. Right.
I'm helping him start another garden this year. So, if you can't afford to, like, I certainly can't afford to stockpile for my neighbors. Right. I can afford to do it for me and Sean and Andrew, but not for my neighbors. So, if he brings me a few packets of seeds, I can help him start a garden.
Right.
That's one way of helping your neighbors prepare.
Right. Right. And as I told you, you know, I wouldn't be able to really either, except I'm getting the food for nothing. I'm just going somewhere, spending the same amount of gas to volunteer, and I come back with an excessive load of food. So why would I come back with a half a load or a third of a load? You wouldn't, right? You come back with as much as you possibly can and find a way to stack it to the rafters, because, yeah, I mean, it's not just even more for us, but it also can help someone else. So,
Right.
um, so for you guys that are doing it the hard way, paying for it, I don't know how you're doing it, because I do see the prices in the stores going up. I have somebody still checking on them. By the way, I mentioned it in one of my videos, in the beginning, that I had a friend that was going to the store and they were buying the same items. Well, they started out at 10 something and they were up to, I think it was close to 30. So it was 3 times the amount. It's now over 47 for those same items, from $10 to 47.
Whoa.
At the same store with nothing extra, and they're still giving me the receipts every week. So that's almost 5 times the amount. That's 470% higher. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So to say that inflation isn't happening is wrong. They're
Right.
just not looking at it. You got to remember too, the consumer price index and everything that they use to say what the inflation is. The consumer price index doesn't include, I find it ironic that it doesn't include the very things that you and I use every day. It doesn't include gasoline, and it doesn't include food. They take them out of the equation completely. They also take energy out of the equation completely. Why? Why do they do that? They do it to cook the books. Isn't that what they do best? Isn't that what they do the best? They cook the books. They do it with everything. And I don't care if it's the shot and the numbers and cooking the books there, or if it's with the Fed and the inflation numbers, or if it's with the consumer price index and all of that. They cook the books. They've done it all along. You're noticing it more because you're more aware of it, but they've done it all along. All right. So with regard to Cyprus itself, the cost of living in Cyprus is about 10% less than what the US is. About 10% less. But there are also fewer jobs available there.
Mm.
So it doesn't really, at that point, matter what the cost of living is, you don't have a job.
Yeah.
Right? Cyprus is more known for metals and minerals. Minerals were their main source of wealth, and still very much is. So when the gold and silver market goes sky high, they might actually do pretty well. But it's going to be after years of not doing well. So if they weren't stocked and stacked to the rafters like we're telling you to be, then they may not still be there individually, because there's really no way for people to live through that. So that's all I have to say about that. Do I think it can happen? Yes, I absolutely think it can happen.
We have a very important question from someone.
All right.
Okay. It's from Nancy. She says, with UBI right around the corner, how will this affect the revaluation of currencies, not only here, but around the world? Many people will have funds to live on, but Where shall we place them instead of a bank to be able to initiate our humanitarian projects?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's one I deal with a lot. Where can you put money so that it's going to be safe to be able to continue on either helping others or even just to live?
Yeah.
If you're talking about US dollars, there is no safe place to put it except for gold and silver. I know, I hate to keep saying it, but as the dollar deflates, these go up. They go up. They don't go down. They go up. And I know you don't want to buy them. A lot of people don't want to buy them. They don't want to put the money there because they're used to cash and they want to hang on to their cash. But I'm telling you, that cash is going to burst into flames. Okay? And it's going to go down. I don't care if you believe me or not, but I hope to God you do, because if you keep that cash, you're going to lose it. It's only by doing gold and silver that you're going to actually keep that money to do anything. Listen, this is going to sound weird. Do you remember? I'm trying to remember the name of it now. The movie Gone with the Wind. You remember the movie?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You remember the ending? I mean, all these tragic things happened, right? But do you remember the ending? At the end of it, she puts her hand in her pocket and she remembers that she has gold or gold and silver in her pocket. And she says, oh my God, that's right. We have gold. We can start over. We can begin again. And they did. And that's when they did the lumber mill and they did all kinds of projects so that they could start over. What did they use? They used those. Okay. Now, I know it's in a movie, but that's the reality. That's what you're going to use to start again. Because the dollars aren't going to cut it. They can't. You can't take them and go to another country and use them. You can't use them in this country because the value is going to be zip. So what can you do? Put it in gold and silver now and watch it go up instead of burst into flames and go down. That's what you can put it into. Otherwise, if you have enough, maybe buy some land and be able to do humanitarian projects with food. Or maybe you look at the humanitarian projects that you want, and if you start them now and put the money into that now with whatever it is you need for it. I don't know, maybe you need machinery, maybe you need, I don't know what you need for it, but whatever you need, do it now. Don't wait for the dollars to go down, because they're gonna. And nobody can really safely tell you when. Some can say the end of this month. I can tell you it could happen on Tuesday morning, but it may not. I'm not saying it will. I'm not suggesting that it will. But it could happen overnight. And we're not going to necessarily know when they take their finger off that button. But they know ahead of time when they're going to do it, and they're well planned for it. You know, I heard a story the other day about all these elites in their bunkers, and we've heard about it for years, but I heard about it again. And then somebody made an odd comment, and I tend to believe this odd comment, that those elites that built these bunkers and have them all prepared and ready to go, regardless of what their name is, we can call them out. We can say JP Morgan, we can say Bill Gates, we can say anything we want. But it's people that can afford bunkers, okay? They're not going to be in them when it happens. I can guarantee you that. There's only one way they will be. If they know about it and they're in on it The only way they're going to be in them. Because what are they going to do? Live underground in a bunker for months on end? No. And they're certainly not going to be in them when it happens. Unless they're in on it. That's my opinion. So, if these guys are already underground, which some say, they're going to be there for a while, because when this happens, people are going to be looking for them, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to start noticing certain people missing, right? Well, I haven't seen any of them missing yet. The JP Morgan bankers are still there. Bill Gates is still around. So, can they all be in a bunker or bunkers, multiple bunkers, all the famous people? Yeah, sure could be. But they'd have to know about it ahead of time. Therefore, they're in on it.
But the thing of it is, and this is my opinion, why are these famous people? What do they have? What do they possess that's so much more valuable than me or you or Diane or Cynthia or Karen or Barbara or Tom or any of, okay, or Jerry or any of us, okay? What do they have that's so much more valuable? So you mean to tell me that Jennifer Lopez is more valuable than me? Why? Why? Because she's a millionaire, because she's been in a few movies and she sings? Can you tell me, can she grow food from seed like I can? Probably not. Can she do what you do, Trish? Can she preserve food? Probably not. Just because she's got a liberal mindset means nothing. You know, I mean, have any of them prepped and stacked to the rafters like any of us here in this chat? We've got 256 people in this chat right now. 257, okay? In this chat right now. You mean to tell me that these elites and these celebrities, because they've got millions, they're worth more than these 250 something people in this chat right now? But they can't contribute a damn thing to society. But we can, because I can almost guarantee that every single one of these people, including me and you, have a skill set that none of these celebrities even have. Like Six Gun just said, you got to have a skill that your neighbor would want to utilize in order to like a barter. Because I can almost guarantee that none of these people have okay, I know one celebrity that actually does, has like a farm. Tom Selleck, he's got an avocado farm. But it's kind of like, you can't tell me that they are worth more and they are more valuable than me or you or any of the 250 plus people in this chat right now, just because they got millions and we don't. That makes no sense. Just because Billy Boy has a bunker, why? It was his idea to kill us off. Nobody else. He's the one that came up with this garbage. He's the one that wants to make fake meat.
Yeah.
He's the one that wants you to put a swab in your mouth so you could grow your own. That's disgusting. I'll shut up.
April in Alabama. Yes, I said 3 years worth of food or more. I said that this is probably going to last 8 to 10 years, but I didn't want to say 8 to 10 years worth of food because we all know we can't put that much food anywhere. You literally need a grocery store to do that. This is now going to be 3 to 5, I would say 3 years worth of food, but then learn to ration it. You're going to have to. We're all valuable. As far as what these other elites think they can do afterward if something major happens, well, I think if they take Martha Stewart with them, then they'll be all set, right? Because she has the skill set to do most of those things. The canning, the preserving, all that stuff. If they keep her alive, they may stand a chance. But
God.
the reality is, you know, most of them probably can never do any of that stuff because they've never had to, or maybe in their early part of their career, maybe they did, but they haven't in so long.
Yeah.
But I think if they drag her along with them, which she probably has one too, then they stand a fair chance of survival at least. She's certainly well versed in preserving food and growing gardens and all the things that you would need. So, you know, what makes them think that they're more worth it? I don't think that they necessarily think they are more worth it. It's just they got to put their money somewhere, right? So why
Yeah.
not build a bunker? If the dollars are going to go down to zero, add on a little more real estate, right? Build a bunker. I mean, there's no reason why people need a house in every state, but a lot of celebrities have houses in every state or all around the country. They do it because they can. So keep stacking the coffee. You're going to need it.
I know. I'm sorry, everyone, for going off like that. It's just sometimes I get so aggravated. You know what I mean? And it's
Well,
just,
you're saying what we're all thinking.
yeah. Well, it's just like, someone had said to me in a comment of one of my videos, I can't share your videos with any of my friends and family because they expect to have edited videos and well-rehearsed videos. Life isn't edited, man. I'm not edited. I'm one of the most realest people on YouTube. You're in the wrong place.
I think if you need to edit it all, there's an issue.
It'd be boring.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be me. I would not be me. If you have to edit me,
Yeah.
you don't want to see the edited me.
Right. And if you haven't figured it out yet, I hold back a lot. If I and I do that, I sit here with my hands folded because I am one that can go off, and I will go off. And sometimes I get very, very passionate about what I'm doing, so I hold it in, and I do that for a lot of reasons. You don't really need to see me going off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Exactly, Barbara. We're Italians. We talk loud and we wave our hands. And someone had actually said to me, stop moving your hands when you talk. Show me one Italian that doesn't move their hands when they talk.
Right. Yeah, we'd have to tie your hands behind your back in order to do that.
I'll wait.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, well, that's how I do it. I mean, I'm Italian too, but I hold my hands because I am like that. I'll go off. And it just reminds me to don't do that, Anyway, like somebody else said on here, they're all in one big club and we're not in it. You're right. All of the elites, they're in one big club, and not only are we not in it, we'll never be invited to be in it.
I wouldn't want to be. I don't want to be around those people.
Right.
I would never fit in. I'm too friggin' loud.
Right. Well, and it's just like me being in the banking system for many years. I don't know how I survived it as long as I did because I did not fit in whatsoever. And I knew I didn't. But it's because evil is just not in my bones, you know? And that's all they think about is making money for themselves and how to one up the next one and how to keep up with the Joneses, and then how to get what the Joneses have. You know, literally how to take it from them. And they have no remorse whatsoever. I mean, I could tell you horror stories. I won't, but I could. And it's just, you know, just one of those things where I can't believe I was there that long. I was there 11 years. And it was so heartbreaking. But for me, when I did it, it was a job. You know, it's a job. It's a good paying job, but it's still a job. And when you're trained in that, I mean, I went to school. I was well trained in it. But just the idea that you can be sitting nearby somebody and they're drawing up plans of how to take the wealth from the people that are investing with them. You know, they're managing somebody's portfolio and they're planning how to take their money. What? You're supposed to be planning on how to multiply their money, and you get a percentage of it by doing it. That's how it works. But oh my God, they're planning how to dwindle their retirement accounts and their savings accounts down to nothing. It's horrific. Absolutely horrific. So I don't know how I did it as long as I did, but I just knew that even with the most recent offer that I had, I couldn't go back to that. Even if they promised they would change, which they never do, right? The game doesn't change, just the players in the game change. The exact game is always played. I know how to play chess well. And I don't want to be one of the pawns that get knocked out in the early part of the game, but I also don't want to be captured. And that's what they would try to do. And to suck you in so that you can't leave. And most of them can't leave. They can't. Either they're suckered into making too much money, or they're blackmailed into staying in. So, one big chess game. I have one other question, and that is it. And we can do it whenever you want. It's up to you.
Okay. Go right ahead.
You let me. Okay.
Go right ahead.
One other question. And it is the last question.
Oh.
You know what that means? Yes,
Yeah.
you know what that means. Lacey T. That's the name of the person. The last question is, what do you think about the transhumanism movement? The human/animal blending and the Chinese super soldiers. Why would they be looking at improving or augmenting humans instead of pushing the AI agenda? And how would this tie into the Great Reset or the New World Order? That is the question. I'll repeat it again. What do you think about the transhumanism movement, the human/blending with animal, or the Chinese super soldiers? And why would they be looking to improve or augment humans instead of pushing the AI agenda? And how would this tie into the Great Reset or the New World Order? That is the question. What do you guys think about that question? What do you guys think? Autumn, what do you think?
Like Alexandra just said, better not talk about that. Oh, really? My goodness. Yeah. Actually, I was just sent a video about this exact thing, about Russia and what they're doing with AI, with their doctors and with their armies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are ways to talk about it without it being a problem.
I'm glad you found a way.
Oh yes, there are ways. So it wasn't going to be a topic that I pull up tonight, but if you're all open for it, it would be the next batch of topics, because it's more than one. The transhumanism movement is huge in what they're looking to do. Augmenting, changing our DNA, our bodies, right? This isn't what that whole thing is all about. There are ways to discuss it, and we can do it if you're up for it. In another group of videos.
Okay.
But that is the last question. So I would say we'd answer it in upcoming videos. Okay. But I would also say with that, back on the first video, we had said, give us a challenging question that opens us up to another group of discussions, didn't I? Mm-hmm. So Lacey T, you are the winner of the raffle. To let you know, whoever Lacey T is, you now have to contact Autumn. And I don't know if you're on tonight, but if you are, yeah, congratulations, Lacey T. You won.
Yeah, she went, ah!
Great question. And it's a topic that we definitely want to dive into. And I have more transhumanism information than I could possibly ever want. It's the stuff that keeps me up at night. You may not want as much as you think you do. But that is the winner, Lacey T. Contact Autumn, and you have 1 ounce of silver coming your way. Make sure you give her the address that you want it sent to. I don't know where you are, if you're in this country or if you're not, but wherever you are, it will go.
So, yeah, my email address is in the description box. Okay, so just email me. All right, Lace.
So you are the winner, and we will definitely start that discussion on transhumanism. Oh joy, that is part of their end game, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. How to trade human beings as a commodity. Don't think they won't. Human trafficking has been one of the highest paid trades out there. And they can do it just by those little nano dots, right?
Yeah.
They turn you into a serial number and they can trade you on the open market, believe it or not. So that'll all be part of the upcoming videos. And we haven't decided how many videos yet. We'll see how well the first one is received and whether or not they're going to try to block us again. So anyway, I don't know if you have any other questions in the chat that will come up for it.
There's lots of them.
Yeah, I'm sure. JR, Transhumanism Agenda 2030. Yeah, but they're not going to wait till 2030. They've already got it planned. And, you know, I'm not saying I know all of it, but I know a heck of a lot of it. So we can get in on what you may not know, maybe clarify some things that you think you know, and I'm sure I'll learn some things in this too. But just bring it up for a topic of discussion and go from there. So, 6 gun. Your birth certificate is your World Bank account number, which the government borrows against and based on projected future earnings. You are correct. Scary thoughts. Scary thoughts. You know, people wonder, you know, how is it possible that they consider us a commodity? But if you look at your birth certificate, how your name is all in capital letters. Any legal document, when the legal part of it is written out, it has to all be in capital letters. Well, your birth certificate is a legal document, right?
Right.
So when you are born and you have a legal document, and now you have a social security card where your name is all in capital letters and you get a social security number, they can turn around and utilize them, and they've done it since the day you were born. If you had your actual birth certificate, the actual one, you would see on the back of it that it actually has a bunch of little passport digits, right? Different, where you've been traded back and forth all the time, all around the world. If you had the actual one, but you'll never see the actual one because the banks will never let that happen. You get a front copy. You don't have a legitimate back copy. You'll never get it.
The one that I have actually has my footprints on it.
Nice. But you have been traded from birth. We all have been. So they have made a ton of money off of people. So there's a lot coming up. Transhumanism is a little bit further down the road. Yeah, we've got stuff potentially coming up with the Fed that is dated for the end of this month, but I don't think they're ready to pull the trigger, and yet they could. So keep prepping. Don't stop prepping. Like I said, I've considered scaling back, but no, I'm not going to do it. Do what you can do while you can still do it. I'm sorry.
No, I'm reading some of the comments. That's all.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but I'm hearing my voice come back on me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So there are definitely. Are you getting an echo? Yes? No?
No.
Okay, I'm getting an echo.
No.
I wish I was wrong about some of the stuff I've said. I just know I'm not. And if you can prove me wrong, I'm open to it. So that's why I've said to you for quite a while now, you know, they treat us like cattle. We all have a number. And we're all digitized. And now with the digital system, we are definitely going to be used as commodities around the world, traded even more with the digital dollar than we were before. You got the echo too?
I don't have an echo, but everyone's saying they have an echo. Oh, shoot. I guess she went out and she's coming back in. I don't know. You know, TM, I wouldn't doubt it. Hang on.
Hi.
All right. Is that better?
I don't know yet. I still have an echo. Don't know.
You guys have an echo? Yeah. You know what, Brooklyn? I wouldn't doubt it if they are.
Yeah. Could be anything.
You know what, Crusader? You know, it's no coincidence. You're right.
So
Listen, they take everything that I do and they screw with everything. If you've noticed, my videos, they've gone from getting 2,000-3,000 views to maybe 300 to 500 views.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. No one's getting notifications. Nothing.
Right.
So they're getting ready. They're getting ready to shut down.
You got to remember too, you know, we're speaking the truth.
Yeah, I know.
They don't want that. Yeah, it's not
They
as
don't.
bad right now.
John just said they don't show up in feeds anymore. They're getting ready to shut me down. That's what it is.
We'll try to make sure they don't. So
anytime there's an echo, it's being recorded. So there you go.
yeah.
All my notifications are down to subscriptions. Yep. Yeah. Nobody gets notifications no more. I'm not getting any views anymore. Nothing. Because they're getting ready to shut me.
Did you notice I'm the only one being echoed, not you?
You're being echoed. And
You
not me.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, TRK. They only do it to the channels that speak the truth. But you know what? I'm such a small channel. Why me?
To be honest, it's probably not you. It's me. I mean, think about it. If I shut up, you won't know. The problem is, I will never shut up, no matter where I do it.
Neither will I.
You know? So we can talk about gardening. We can talk about prepping for the next, you know, what's it? A few more minutes. I'm still looking for the hole in the gas.
I don't know. I just don't know what to do. I mean, I tried to be a good girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only through me, KDS, can you find Trish. Only through me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've dealt with other channels, but I'd rather you go through her. So.
And just like I got one subscriber and they're saying, oh, there was this many ads in your video, because they know that either I get no ads or limited ad suitability. I don't make money like other YouTubers do. I don't, because they don't put ads in my videos. So when they do put ads in my videos, I'm like shocked. I'm like, what do you mean they put ads in my videos? Are you joking? Yeah. Because that's how bad they screw with me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it echoing?
I don't think so.
Is it as loud as it was?
Oh, April's saying there's an echo.
Okay.
I have a ton of ads, lead by example. See, I don't know that until somebody tells me that. Because I always get a notification by them saying limited ads suitability due to content material. Well, what the hell did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say that's not already out on MSM or another YouTuber didn't already say? What did I say? Why does it sound so much worse coming out of my mouth than somebody else's mouth?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Well, we have a lower echo now because I turned the volume down a little bit, but you can still hear it.
Oh, well, thank you, Southern Heart. I appreciate you, baby. It's time to make a backup channel. Yeah, I actually thought about that, but you know how hard it is. It's a pain.
Yeah.
And to get that established, you know how long it took me to get this established?
Right.
It's not easy. Only an echo when Trish talks.
Right. I was working on my computer a little while ago, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm working on this big Word document, and I had to be online to do it. And it was done, and it was saved, and I was pretty much done for the day, and it was immediately deleted. Not by me. I went, whoa. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had one of those small sticks in the computer, and I had backed up to that too, I would have totally lost it. But I had already pulled the stick out before it got deleted, so I had a hard copy now. But it's amazing what's happening. And it's all through the same internet on my phone because I link into my phone on my laptop. Are they tired of me saying too much? Maybe. Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to stop doing this because somebody doesn't like what we have to say. People come to you and to me for financial advice and for help. I can't tell you how many times you've helped someone. You've actually helped me and Sean. So why am I going to deny somebody else that financial help? I would never do that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Chris, I had thought about setting up a Patreon, and then I said to myself, I don't want anyone to have to pay to watch my videos. That's not fair. So I would never do that.
Right.
I know we have the First Amendment for a reason, but that only pertains to the left, But thankfully, Governor Ron DeSantis passed a bill here, which goes into effect on July 1st, saying that Floridians and Florida politicians can no longer be censored when it comes to social media. So until July 1st, I got to watch my mouth.
I didn't know that had a date on it.
Yes. July 1st.
So are there any other questions that we missed?
I don't know.
Well, at least most of the video was not echoed.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand what they're doing and what's going on. I really don't. It's just.
Well, we understand it. We just don't agree with it.
I know, but it just doesn't make sense on why they're targeting. I'll never understand it. It is what it is.
Is it random or is it targeted? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not like we'll ever get an explanation. Tony Soprano. Oh, where is he at? Where do we need him?
Right, right. Still in Jersey.
How many months worth of funds should we have? Should we not invest in gold and silver? Darn it, I just lost it. Hang on. A couple of months, maybe a year.
How many months worth of funds should we not invest in gold and silver?
Yeah, John Boyd. Do you see that?
Yeah. How many
Okay.
months should we not invest? I take that more as you don't want to do it. I don't know. As I mentioned, when someone else asked about gold and silver, it's an individual choice. I think you should be investing it, not that you should not. So if you're meaning that to be derogatory and going against what I've been saying all along, that's your choice. It's up to you. Do I think the Fed will be abolished? I'll leave the other part of the question off, but do we think the Fed will be abolished? No. No.
Given the extremes that are coming to Earth, would they lose control? Would who lose control, Stu? Sue and Sam. I don't know who you're referring to, sweetheart.
Yeah, I didn't see the question.
Sue and Sam is the name.
Oh, given the extremes that are coming to Earth, would they lose control? The Feds? Absolutely. They're in the process of losing control right now.
Ah, okay.
They are, and they know it. That's why they're trying to hold on to it so tightly and lie to you consistently. It's one big lie.
So Deborah just commented and said Cox Communication got hacked with ransomware. When did that happen, Deborah? This ransomware stuff really needs to stop. It's insane. But Cox Communication, isn't that like radio, or is that? I don't know what that is.
Well, no, Cox is a cable company and internet service.
Oh. Is that like only up north, or is it like all over the place? Or
it is up north. I'm not sure where else it is.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You saw that?
What was it? Sorry.
What is going on? Ma Berry, what's going on?
Is that about prepping 101?
Uh-huh. What's going on here?
Yeah. I saw that.
I don't even know who they are, so I can't, like, you know.
Right. And I didn't respond to it because I don't know who they are.
Yeah, you know what, Gaming with Crazy, I agree with you. I had someone had said on another channel, I don't know who it was, I don't remember. It was just like a day or two ago that they're going to be phasing potato out and heels up in by August. If that's true, if anyone else has heard that, let me know, will you please?
Say it again.
Apparently, potato is going to be phased out and heels up Harris is going to be in by August.
I won't put a date to it, but we all know it's coming.
But I heard by August. I don't know.
I can't confirm a date.
I don't know.
You know, when he was put in with the intention of having someone that would easily replace him.
Say that again.
He was put in with the assumption that he can be easily replaced.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, usually they're the backup, but he's the one that they really wanted, not him. You know,
Right.
The VP is in case. He was the case.
Sheila, that's everybody calls her heels up Harris. She said, I just made her pay herself. I'm sorry. I don't refer to them as their real name. It's heels up Harris, Potato Head, and Tony Baloney. Listen.
That's bad.
It is bad, but you know what? I stay under I try to stay under the radar as much as I can, but nothing's working.
How's my echo now?
I don't hear it.
Yeah, I do. So go.
Humpty Dumpty's gonna fall soon. Who's Humpty Dumpty?
the rotten egg? Yeah.
You guys are terrible. Someone else you know calls her Bob Marley. Or don't that's
yeah.
I love Bob Marley's music, man. That's not right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we knew when she said to him, "Don't worry about what it says, just sign it anyway." Come on. Just sign it anyway. You know? Imagine someone saying that to Trump. You know, they get hit with the boat.
Oh, William, he said, I think Miss Potato Head is going to fall down, bump his head, and go into a coma. That's terrible. But listen.
People die in their sleep all the time.
I know. Stop.
It could happen.
Oh, Sheila, stop. Camel Toe has have her heels up. You're terrible.
All right. Keep it,
guys.
Keep it clean and nice.
Oh, you're terrible, Sheila. I'm going to hell. He's been asleep at the switch since my parents were in middle school. Yeah, I know. Listen, he thinks he's been in office for 15 months already. What? I don't know where he thinks he's been. You know.
You mean the movie studio? You think? Really? Come on. They got a green screen behind just about everything.
I know. Sometimes I think he's an AI.
I love the part where she was getting on an airplane and was walking up the stairs with the green screen right in front of her. Come on, that was beautiful. Did you see that?
Mm-mm. I don't watch the news. I can't because I get really upset. So I just don't. I really don't. I just don't.
It wasn't on the news. They're not going to show you a green screen. They're not going to show you that.
No, but I'm just saying, no, I did not see that. But in general, because a lot of people say, well, don't you watch the news? No, no, I don't even turn it on.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I think potato is a hologram. I really do. Six Gun, you're right. I really do.
That's the Pope. The hologram is the Pope.
Really?
If you want to know, if you want to know if I turn my TV on, ask Nikki. She'll tell you.
It's insane. I mean,
no, the hologram is the Pope. The potato, he's still here. But you know, he could fall asleep or have a stroke very easily.
These guys are terrible in this comment section. No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Broken hologram. Yeah,
we're all going to hell. No shit. Oh God.
Well.
Oh, Angel.
Yeah, I saw that. Keep going. Pictures of Jill and Hillary when she's 6 inches shorter now. Does anyone have a thought on that? It is interesting. Did you see that picture of Jill and Hillary?
No.
Oh, I did.
I don't even, honestly, I don't look at anything that has to do with anything that has to do with them. I can't.
I was actually sent that picture, and someone on the bottom wrote in big Sharpie marker, "What do you think?" They actually sent me that. What do I think? I don't think that's her. But as my other answer, I don't think that's him either. So it's my opinion.
Well, where could they possibly be? I mean, that.
There are different opinions on that subject.
No, I mean, you can't seriously think that they've met their demise.
Huh?
You can't say that you think that they met their demise, or is that what people are saying?
I haven't said that.
No.
Some people think that there's different opinions. Some think that they've been arrested. Some think that they have cloned. I just happen to notice the picture and the height difference. It's amazingly different. It's not 1 or 2 inches different. It's about 6 to 8 inches different.
Wow.
Yeah. And heels might account for about 3 inches or so. But if you know Hillary at all, she doesn't tend to wear pointed high heels. She wears very flat high heels. So it might be 2 or 3 inches, but not 6 to 8.
I don't know.
I don't think it's either one of them.
Six Gun, I think he literally changes like ideas mid-sentence because I think he's got Alzheimer's and dementia. That's why. I mean, he literally can't finish a sentence. I mean, he's like another one with he's like a toddler with a shiny object. He goes. It reminds me of when the kids were growing up. I mean, he's like, yeah, it's terrible.
Well, he's got a scripted speech that he has to say. But I think as he's doing it, he loses track of the conversation, and he tries to do it on his own, and then he can't. you know, because he's not all there. If he stuck to the script, he'd probably be fine. But he can't.
I don't know.
Good question. And Rafi, if silver wasn't being suppressed, what would its current value be? About 300 bucks? Maybe 250 to 300, and certainly not 30 or under. That's why I can confidently say when they take their finger off that button and when it goes up, it's going to be about times 10. Because that's the realistic value now. I think it's still a little ways down the road before they take their finger off that button. It will explode. You're welcome.
Off goes the weasel. Stop, guys. All right. All right, guys. We've been doing this for about 2 hours. Okay. I think we should end this night. I watched my dad go through it. They do have moments of lucidity. Yeah, they do. Because my grandmother had it too, you know. But it was bad. It was bad. But then again, you know, I mean, you know, but there's nothing with him, with this guy. There's nothing. I don't know. I don't know.
Right. So I just want to remind Lacey T, contact Adam.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing something without an echo next time. And we'll figure out what the next raffle is. I know we're going to do one. I just have not figured out what the prize is yet. So.
All right, guys. Good night. I love you.
Good night.